Good evening. Welcome to Allports SuperCars NZ Round 7 GT3s. This week sponsored by SDI, Steve Darren Interiors. We've got Steve Darren on course at the moment, done some laps in the BMW. And at the moment he's sitting down in 20th spot with his qualification so far. As you can see, we have got some foggy conditions today. We're at the lovely Brands Hatch in the UK. This is our first stop into the UK of 2 races. This week Brands Hatch, next week at Silverstone, and conditions may be fairly similar. What we got here for you? There's a quick look over the track map there. You can see that we are in the city of Kent in the UK, Brands Hatch track. The red line indicates the start-finish line and starts in the orientation of running clockwise. That's going down past that red line and around the track in that direction. Very overcast today, 21 degrees, over 100% humidity. That's why it's generated a little bit of fog. And if you're tuning into us this evening via YouTube to catch our live stream, or if you've tuned in later and you're watching this video, please give us a like and subscribe so we can keep giving you the awesome videos that you see before you. Looks like it's just going to be me in the broadcasting lounge tonight. Wayne is away at the Ed Sheeran concert in Wellington, so he'd usually be running that, and Sean is doing some other stuff. Not too sure what. He may pop in later on, but at the moment it is just me that you have to suffer with. Let's have a quick look currently at the timing board. We've got Craig Mason returning to us after a few weeks of not racing in the GT3s on the Thursday night. This is the KRF Motorsport AKMS entry there. BMW looking really slick. He's currently got the fastest time out on track with a 1:23.02. And not sitting far behind him is Shane White in his ever faithful DSA Sylvan Mercedes entry. Just a little bit under 300ths of a second off pole position there. Sitting back in third, just composing himself there in pit lane, is Blake Grenhall, who had a ripper last week and managed to finish P1 just at the end of the race after coasting across the line with no fuel left in the tank. So the cars have got only a threshold of being able to hold 35% maximum fuel load out of 110 litres. So that would mean that some cars will have to stop once or possibly twice throughout a race session, depending on how hungry on the fuel that they are. Another car that we have joining us back this week, along with Craig, and who's also been doing very well in the races that he's been turning up to, Dion DeGraaf, Team Simblax, in his BMW this evening. Currently sitting 4th. Teammate Kevin West just rolling out of pit lane, currently sitting there in 5th. He might be wanting to get a catch up to his teammate Dion there and get some learnings to see where he can find an extra 700ths of a second. Top 10 looking pretty slick. We've also just had Nick Mitchell there out on track in the MRX BMW. Hopefully he can do a better job driving this than the GT4 that he had on Tuesday night as a safety car, where he ended up putting it into the wall just after getting up and away from the start of the field. It's quite humorous. If you haven't caught that one, you can click on the link at the end of this video to take you across to this week's SuperCars V8 race, and you won't have to wait too long before you see the funniness. That's right there at the start when the safety car came out. Mr. O'Keefe just running off the wide, getting nice and close to the camera for us. Brett able to join us for half the rounds this season. He's living over in Australia, but he's a Kiwi born and bred. His job allows him to come and race with us every other fortnight. So welcome BJ, good to have you back. Brett also looks after OKMS Media and Graphics, so he's done a lot of liveries for the guys out on track. And there he is, this week's sponsor, Steve Darren Interiors, lapping it up in his nicely blacked out BMW.
Quali just about over there, Doug.
It sure is. You've got 40 seconds left, and hello Sean, I didn't even hear you pop in.
That's right, mate. I've been sitting here quietly listening to you just, explain the very ins and outs of people. It's been good. Been nice.
Yeah, well sometimes you've got to try and fill the gaps when you're by yourself.
Mate, you weren't going to be by yourself for long. I sent you a text. Sorry, I was a bit late returning.
Said, yeah, nah. I thought you were saying, not sure if you're coming along tonight. Yeah, nah.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, nah. Then I was like, oh, sorry, I am. And I was
lol. I misinterpreted.
The lol means...
I thought that lol was a you full on laughing with your head tipped back, roar of laughter, like, haha, suck it up, cupcake.
No, I never leave a man hanging, mate. There's one rule you can teach your kids out there. People never leave a high five hanging.
Yeah.
Yeah, always give someone a high five. So
that's
Yeah.
But I was said before the return of Craig Mason, and he's currently grabbed P1 on the pole there.
Is there drive-throughs tonight, or sorry, not drive-throughs? Is there safety cars tonight, or?
Silence, utter silence. Someone asking in the background. If
No race control? No race control. I thought I'd put that out there.
From race control.
From race control, yeah. Yeah. I'll keep my opinions to myself about people's driving skills.
Yes.
Should be a good race though. I love the fog there, Doug.
Yeah, I thought because we had come to the UK and it's a winter time, I thought it's probably the happening thing over there at the moment, the thing that people think about the UK, a bit dull, grey, foggy sort of carry on.
Yeah, it's almost as depressing as New Zealand at the moment.
Yeah. And that's about as much visibility as we have currently at the moment from the blimp cam.
Yeah.
So I actually, yeah, cheers Scotty. Mr. Pickering is going and fired up a comment. You should be racing though, mate. You can't have that much dramas. Scott Pickering's just gone and put a message up into the chat board saying Craig will be happy that he can't see the trees.
Everyone's got a short memory in sim racing, don't we?
And I was actually just thinking of that earlier there, Scotty, when I fired up the blimp cam and I couldn't see a single tree. None at all. So, speaking of Craig Mason and blimp cams, there it is. And yep, I can just make out some foliage there. But what we're probably better to do is jump on down to the ground and have a look at the cars as they get ready. And I've loaded it up as a short parade lap. I managed to find that button, Sean. I know you've been
well done.
giving me a hard time about not loading them and the cars going out and doing full laps.
Full laps. It was worse when I used to get excited thinking it was a start, when it was, because that's why they're on the grid, and it was a full lap, and I'm talking up like, well, here we go, and I was like, Scapey getting all excited, and
yep,
and then they just do a parade lap, and then so I feel like a right knob. So.
And then a minute and a half later, you got to try and prime yourself again.
And build it back up again. Yeah. So, understandably, it's my own fault, but I like to blame other people for my mistakes.
Yep.
I'm a normal human being.
That's it. So only a couple of people left to grid, and believe it or not, this man has snuck in tonight. Nathan Anderson.
Nathan Anderson, yeah, I had a look in the old MRP car.
Yep.
Have
we got it?
He got told in another group to make sure he doesn't take anyone out. So
Yep.
we'll let him race, and hopefully he enjoys it, and we'll see him again in the future.
We jumped into a session that Whitey had loaded up the other day for the Bathurst Enduro race coming up next weekend, not this weekend, the weekend after.
Yes.
And Nathan was on track, and he ended up popping up into our wee Discord group and having a chat with Wayne and I. So it was nice and refreshing, and we didn't say anything to embarrass ourselves.
I don't believe you. Don't believe you.
It was good. So
he's very quick too. So he's starting at the back, is he?
He is. He's near the back, along with another very fast gentleman who we can't see at the moment, but his name starts with a Z X, but it sort of sounds like a Z.
Oh, he is there.
Xavier Simmons, and he is one of the fast lane Allports backed drivers. So it's good to see one of their cars out there tonight, and also down the back, Taylor Mitchell, not able to secure a time.
Oh wow, quite a few fast guys back there, so that should be interesting. So to be honest, Craig's got early.
He is.
We thought old Whitey might run a bit deep at turn 1 and take him out.
So there it is, all there, and there's still coming.
Oh, there's
eight
back. This is a bit of an accident. Who was it?
Dan Turner fell off the track back there. Oh, yeah. And looks like Bill over on the side. We've got Xavier's going off. Who else? I see a couple other names. Ross Watson.
I like Louis' photo of a little man in jail.
Yep.
Oh, that's so good.
So Dion DeGraaf just getting his boogie on and making two moves early on, getting past both Shane White and Blake Greenhall to fall in behind Craig Mason. These guys have been pairing up and doing quite a bit of stuff together lately. They've been getting together and doing some pretty competitive racing. I believe these guys will be getting together and pairing up again for an upcoming 12-hour Bathurst round.
No, young Dion's out. He's busy that weekend.
Oh no, okay, yep.
Yeah, he's. I think he's got a wedding or something to go to. Not his. He's already married.
Yeah. He's
fallen for the trap. Sorry, Dion.
Yeah. As we see.
Oh, this is good.
Yeah, there's a battle between Brett O'Keefe and Ride-Off Jenkins, who has a lovely fauna coloured car, if we can call it a fauna.
Nice.
There's one of these has a bit more of a close-up view. Yeah, we'll go with the fauna. What else we got going on? Pricey just getting passed by Nathan Anderson there. So Nathan Anderson not taking very long to make his way up through the field now into 16th. Yep.
That's impressive.
A quick look here, Jared Eccleston. He had done some very fast laps during practice, and he wasn't able to stitch together a very fast qualifying time, but he said he wanted to get something in the bank to be ahead of a certain other driver, which I think he's been able to do. As we see Kevin West fall off there, and Matt Gerard. Kevin West doing his best just to stay out off the edge of the racing line there and very cautiously rejoining. So well done, Kev.
Great to see. Yeah, well, great to see.
And Craig at the front still pushing on.
Yeah, Dion's sort of gaining on him though a little bit there, so it's good to see. In third place,
yep.
Whitey is just hanging in there. So Any
Yeah.
mistake from the top two, and Shane's going to be right there. So
Yeah, so
good
just
on him.
off the nose of Whitey there as they come around. This corner was really slippery during the practice sessions. As you can see, he's just tucked into the draft. Down through here is a really good place to look. I was going to say it's probably not quite there, but it is a really good place to look at an overtake. Down through there. There's a nice wee run-off over there so you can get a wee bit extra boost. But then this is quite a tricky corner. You've got to cut just over that curb and not float out wide because that's off-cambered on the grass and it sucks you out towards the tyre wall. So Whitey just getting himself sized up to look at possibly making a move on Dion.
I hope he just sits behind him and just keeps the pressure on. Because at the end of the day, that's what breeds mistakes, I believe.
Yeah, so Whitey, there we go. So yeah, so Whitey just creeping and showing that nose. A few corners, and it's been able to. There we go.
So he just proved me wrong with yeah, because as I said, sometimes you push, and then you end up just going off track. So sometimes staying behind is sometimes more beneficial. And it looks like Blake's not far behind now either. He's like he's jumping into this little.
Yeah, well, that wee battle there between Blake and Dion would have caused just a very slight arrest in their driving, not getting towards the apexes just as much, and Blake's been able to capitalise off that and done a really good job of pushing on at that point. Blake just going a little bit faster in his previous lap than what Shane White did his best, which was faster than Dion. So looking at those times, it's don't think it's going to be long before we see Blake getting right onto the back of Dion DeGraaf as well. So we just have.
So let's jump back to this fight. This is good.
Yep. So
look at these guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep, so we've got Jared Eccleston just at the front of that pack there in the white and blue Porsche, followed by Peter Vanderberg in the painless engineering BMW entry, and then Trent Bennett there, Passion Sim Racing Sport, as Nathan Anderson in the MRP sponsored McLaren, throwing flames out the back, getting ready to get the marshmallow toasties on.
Whoa, that was wide.
Yeah,
wow.
he just hung onto that, and he's deep under there as well, but he's managed to bring that back onto the apex, so maybe that's a racing line that I need to look at.
Yeah, late apexes, mate, is where it's all at with the GT3s, I believe.
Yeah.
Because you better runs onto the straights.
Let's see if I can get inside. Here we go. And this is what I was saying, a really good run down here and then into the braking point, and it's still just a flowy enough corner that you can get round, and he's done a really good job of doing that before this tricky braking point here.
Almost wide. See, the other car, you got to wait for the other car to tuck him behind too, so a little bit of hope and that the other car knows what it's doing.
Yeah.
When you're up the inside there on that little bit of straight, yeah.
But there we go, there was, so Nathan Anderson over a space of one lap has been able to go by 3 cars, and he's now eyeing up Jared Eccleston. As I see Brett O'Keefe in the pit lane.
Well, sorry, I didn't expect you to break that early.
Wasn't even on the racing line, dude.
Not too sure who's having a wee chit chat there.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's fast cars at the back of the field. Taylor Mitchell's come unstuck, I believe. I'm not too sure. I haven't seen it.
Just found
Yeah,
Peter Vanderberg and Thomas McCall coming together, and I just had previous info of Peter Vanderberg apparently crashing as well. Might have been with Taylor Mitchell going by, I'm not too sure. Have a quick look at the replay on this. Oh, so no, that's... Yeah, that was a tricky one there, Pete.
Yeah, obviously the
Just
struggling with the
losing
rear
it.
brake bias. I think probably remove the brake bias forward a little bit. We'll try and solve that little issue for him there.
Yeah, and then what's happened here?
Oh.
So that's a follow on from
Yeah, it's technically maybe not his fault.
just not racing room given there, I don't think.
By both parties, so.
Yeah. Go back to live. And see, Blake is still just closing that gap down on Dion. Not as close as what I thought he would have been after a short time period.
Yeah, Dion is pretty. Ooh, I was going to say pretty good, but he's just cut there and he'd be right on his bum right now. So.
And run very wide, very wide.
Has he got him? Has he got him? Is he going to get? Ooh, love it.
We're getting a few passes in tonight, folks. As Dion's got the better run through there, I reckon Blake's going to pull back in behind. That's a safe move, that one.
Yeah, Blake's not one just to throw it up the inside and try and risk it all on one pass.
He's not going to do the widey.
No, he's very, no. What his pass is very professional.
Yeah.
That
was close. I was waiting for that to go disastrous.
And that's for a lack of doing laps. That is. It's very good on green tyres, but when the tyres get the sake of 7 or 8 laps old, they start to bite a little bit. You see, he's running a bit wide and just missing a few apexes.
Yeah. And Nathan Anderson now moving on to his next victim, which would be the one and only Taylor Mitchell, just ahead of him in that bright green Audi. Taylor being a very fast driver as well, but I think Nathan's going to have him here.
Oh, good on you, Taylor. Never give up, eh?
It's
he's coming back at him. Oh, nice.
And he nearly lost the rear end. We're going to see them come together here.
And so, I like it. Hard racing.
There we go. Wicked stuff.
Taylor might have a little bit of damage too from a bit of contact a little bit earlier, so you never know.
And now Taylor has to sit back and watch the flamethrower disappear ahead of him. Oh, there it goes.
Oh, did he just run wide?
He's
run wide.
He's not going to hold it. He's not going to hold it.
I know. Great advertisement for MRP on that angle, though, wasn't it? And Taylor's jumped on the mic to let him know about it.
On the track.
He's rubbing the salt in the wounds, Mitchell.
I think he takes after his father on that one.
And speaking of his old man, here he is. Nick Mitchell, Mr., as it says here on the screen.
I saw that, Mister. It doesn't say Master under his son, or was it?
Yeah, so there he is, Nick Mitchell, Mr. 333, doing a very good job of keeping his GT3 car pointed in the right direction tonight after he went wee rowdy rounds in his GT4 safety car on Tuesday night.
He also did it in practice. We saw him, we all laughed and talked about it.
Yeah.
He did it in the GT3. We're like, I can do it in both cars. He's clever.
I reckon he's close to turning around and saying, well, if everyone would fucking leave me alone while I'm out doing laps so I can learn how to drive the thing and not get barged off the track.
To be honest, I think it was talking and trying to drive on cold tyres. But we enjoyed it for the fact is it didn't hurt anyone. It brought a bit of laughter to the whole race. And
it did.
To be honest, it was a great night.
Yeah, and I mean, as far as what the predictions were for it, I think it could have been a lot worse. The start, it was obviously bad enough that we had to. You deployed it. You deployed it early.
Yes.
But the rest of the race was really good. I think.
Yeah, for the track that it was.
Oh, look at that! Just as I jump over to Whitey again, he's going and throwing out some 10 mil nuts from the under tray there.
He's not letting him go though. 1.5 seconds is nothing. It's a slight mistake at the pit stop, and he'll have him. And
while we talk about pit stops, we're looking at the one gentleman here who had a wee bit of drama with some pit stop strategy recently.
Yes, I mean, we don't like to bring it up, but hey, since you brought it up, we'll talk about it. So,
Well, you were there.
um,
You were part of the team, weren't you?
I was part of the disappointment. Yes, yeah, 45 minutes into into a 24-hour race, and the driver misses his pit box.
Missed it. Missed
So
the pit box. Craig
yeah,
Mason. Wow.
completely missed it. And he even drove out of pits, hit a wall, and didn't have enough gas to tow. So to tow, plus fix the car, plus send someone out. So we lost about 4 laps. And the boys, this is what I like about it. The boys like, no, we're going to race on and try and carry on.
Good stuff.
A lot of teams would have pulled out, but like at the end of the day, it's like, well, what do we do? And we actually clawed it back and came within, I think, 2 laps of the leader at the end of the 24 hours and came home in 6. So a lot of mishaps in between as well, which that weren't Craig's fault, but.
No,
yeah.
no, and I mean, I'm one to talk. The last time that we paired up to do a drive, we were happily sitting there in third spot, hunting. No, oh no, it was P2 hunting down P1, and a particular individual saw red. Me.
To be fair, we didn't really have much.
And then I saw a whole lot of other stuff. No, that was pretty average. Still kick myself about it. It was my one and only call up to KRF, and I've been banned from all groups now.
Yeah, I was about to say that it'd be a long time before you called up again.
Yeah, I've got some proving to do now. That's for sure.
Yeah. Come back with a win, we might look at you.
Yeah.
No, say that we've got Blake. We've got Blake in this time for the 12-hour Bathurst.
Yeah, well, old Blarkey,
Blarkey's in.
Blarkey's
in.
If you can.
He's been doing
So me, Craig, BJ, and Blarkey are taking on the mountain.
Yeah,
that should be fun.
There's a few of us doing it. Doing it with his Sylvan DSA guys, the 2 out of the UK. Myself, Bill Kilger, Steve Darren, Mike
Wayne
Robinson, Wayne Bloor, the one and only, coming back for a featurette, Cole Taylor.
Yeah.
We're making up a bit of
Cole Taylor. Well done.
Cole Taylor, a bit of a super team.
Yeah,
and speaking of the Cole Taylor, I don't think I can see his name in here.
No.
But interestingly enough, and you won't be able to see it, but it's where I'm swinging my mouse around on the thing.
Over there.
Yeah. So Scotty said 2 cheeseburgers says Shane takes out Craig within 3 laps, and that was from the Cole Taylor. So at the moment, looking where...
I'll raise you 2 cheeseburgers and say he doesn't.
Yeah, well, at the moment, Craig's just gone and put a bit of a stretch on Whitey and nearly extended it out to 1.7 from the 1.3. He's just a little bit. Previous lap times though from those two, and have a gag at this. A minute 23.64 for Craig and a minute 23.65 for Shane White. So just a hundredth of a second difference. Just a hundredth of a second. But I do want to just quickly go back. There was a Louis Robertson crash, and Louis Robertson has just come back to join us this season after not being around very much with work. But he passed Brendan Brownie, I think as Brownie was coming into the pits, and then not long after, Louis had a crash. So I'm going to go back and we're going to have a wee look. And that down the bottom says Sean's got a little...
I haven't seen that one. He knows how to push my balance, doesn't he?
Finger. Sean's got a little finger.
I think he heard that last season. He wanted to say something else. But, what happens to people like that is they crash. See? You start mocking admin, that's what happens. Start doing donuts at happens.
Welcome back, Louis. We love you, mate.
We didn't miss you at all, Louis. Not one bit. Zero, actually.
And Craig's found himself his pace increasing as his fuel coming down. Hopefully we don't see. Hopefully we don't see a repeat of what happened towards the start of the season, where we ran out of gas just before the the last lap and ended up dropping down a few positions, but he had made a great run going through and overtaking cars. And there you go, you can see there again those times just popped up on screen. Previous lap, Craig 23.6
It's
and
dropped
Whitey
back
at
down.
23.4. So
Yeah, it's dropped back down. Yeah.
It has indeed. I'm just going to go back and have a look at this pass from Xavier on Trent.
Oh, Trent 8.
Yeah, if it'll let me do it. So Trent ran wide. Xavier right there to jump on it.
Oh, it's down that straight. Yeah, nice. Into that corner that you keep talking about. So that's
Yeah.
nice. That people have taken the option. Oh, there's a car off there. Who's that? In the grass? Am I on the... Sorry, I'm looking at live.
Thomas McCall went off track. Brendan Brownie went off track.
Ah, Thomas. Thomas is on. He's right. He's back on track. He's alright. He's in the grass.
So this was him here. He's just run wide and stayed wide off the edge there. Picked up a bit of gruff. And then there's not much to play with out there. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's where it was. Oh, the wall was there. Didn't see that.
Actually found the tyre bundle. He probably picked up just a little bit of damage there on the left front steering.
Oh, they're all... Ooh, so people are coming to the pit.
Like a Scott McKenzie crash. What's this?
Oh, he's way off track. Where is he? Oh, no. Oh, there he goes. Oh, no! Oh.
Right in front of the leaders.
Oh, that was so lucky. The both of us were just like, I bet you he had a bit of poo come out.
Yep. Craig Mason has gone to the pits. Whitey's gone to the pits. Jonathan Turner's gone to the pit. Eccleston's gone to the pits.
I was hoping
Mitchell's
Whitey would go a lap early.
pits.
I was hoping he would do it a lap early, so try to get the undercut. No one risk it. Why would you risk it on the GT3s? Because it still is pretty early, I suppose. It's not even halfway.
Yeah. Here's Frank Gilbert. I haven't had much of Frank Gilbert this season. He's a fast peddler in the rainbowish Mantis livery, which always looks super, super cool.
I like the yellow wheels. That's nice.
But he's just hanging on to the back of Whitey at the moment, and
he's up 7 spots.
He's actually been able to get a bit of a run.
Yeah. So where's Craig's? It's funny how a pit stop works, where Craig's might have leapt like 5 seconds on Whitey here. But to see once they cross the start-finish line and get the actual time. But I believe it's quite a bit.
Well, that's the evidence right there. So as we look back to Craig as he goes under the banner into the last corner.
There we go.
And there's Whitey just going under that now as well.
So it might have been time in the air, or what do you think?
Here we go. Eh? We've got Dion DeGraff in pits. Shane White's just gone by, so Dion's still sitting there. Might be taking some tyres as he rolls out. What's the pit time there? Actually, not too bad. So Whitey being the longest one in pits so far. So Craig was in there for 16.5 seconds. And Whitey was in there for 22 seconds.
Yeah, see, that's something's going on there.
The next closest around, so with Craig, Jonathan Turner was very similar on time. Dion was similar on time. And then Nick Mitchell in his BMW was also just under 22 seconds at 21.2.
Can you show those times in pit lane or not?
Jared Eccleston.
Still though you're saying them, it'd be nice to see them. Because I want to know if anyone else, there's the stops.
Pit stop.
Blake's the only one that hasn't stopped. But there you go. Is anyone else on? Oh, yeah, so there's 16.5. Xavier's done that. Who else? 16.8. 16.2. Matt Gerard, well done.
Peter Vanderberg must have had an early pit because I reckon Steve. Yeah, probably an early pit for some damage repairs.
Yep.
There's no limit on time, so Blake's in there right at this very moment. He's still ticking it up. There we go, 16.9 in the Beamer.
Right, so that's
probably the difference. I'd say.
Wrong.
No, he would have taken some tyres. He's taken, I'd say he's probably taken 2 tyres.
And no one else was
Whether
taking
that be
tyres.
working side, the loaded side. Oh,
Yes.
oh, Shane White just stopped in the middle of the track.
Oh no, that's the worst place to stop too.
No.
On the racing line.
I reckon something's really malfunctioned for him just there. Like something's popped up on screen or something, because he's had to come to a creeping stop.
He'll tell us all about it because, yeah, it was on the stream. Very strange.
Wow, so you look at it now, Craig Mason at the front, and
It's his race to lose, isn't it? Really?
Blake Grenhall now in second spot, but he is nearly 15 seconds behind Craig Mason as we bring up the gaps there. So from Craig back to Blake, 15 seconds, but I didn't see obviously what exactly happened with Shane White, and there could have been a little bit of a flow-on effect with him having to stop in the middle of the track where he did to, with others going by. Whitey back into the swing of things now and hot on the back of Dion de Graaf's tail, so Whitey currently sitting there in 5th. Jinx and Dykes and dives, not wanting to muck around and wait for too long, stuck behind Dion, as Dion desperately covering the lines and not wanting to give that one up very easy.
This is going to be very good to watch, man. Dion's a very good racecraft. Even if he doesn't have the pace, he'll put the car in the right positions because he likes to call race control when he gets it wrong. All right. And he's very, very good racer. So I think Shane's got more pace. What do you think?
I agree. Yes, totally agree. Dion's lap times are sitting around that 26, low 26, and Whitey very capable of getting into mid and low 23s. So lap pace definitely favouring Shane White, but he's got to get past him and he's got to do it cleanly.
He does. So we're watching this because we'll make sure he's not moving under brakes or doing anything silly. It might be turn 1. I thought he was running wide.
That's Steve Darren that they've just gone and blown by.
Not turn 1.
Shane.
Turn 2.
Still shallow on his entry there. I reckon he could get a better run out of that first corner.
I was to say, we should bring him up, but he's in too much of a battle that we don't want to quite do that.
As
right.
you see how hard he's pushing that rear end of that Mercedes round there. He needs to be closer before this point, because the next few corners after this straightaway is not a place where you want to be trying to pick a battle, and Dion probably knows that. It's a tricky part of the track to try and line something up. Your view is very obscured from sitting that close and behind someone. And down through here, great one to capitalise. So Dion's actually got a really good run.
Yeah, he got a good run through here, didn't he? Yeah.
Whitey's got some
get that
great
corner right.
Yes, yeah.
You know, as a driver, you know when you've done that corner really well because it's got quite a lot of camber on the inside at the apex. So, ooh, not quite. He's so close. And if he can race this close without touching, there'll be a lot of respect at the end of the race.
Whitey just... I don't know who that was there, but I'll see Brendan Brownie just crash. Thomas McCall went off track, but I'm sticking with this just at the moment. Whitey's just bled back a little bit, so he's probably just been pushing those tyres just a bit too much. probably getting a wee bit squirrely moving forward. I reckon we'll... Oh, as we catch all the drama, Shane White going and doing some Jim's mowing service over there. Just remember, this is pretty much the view, and you wonder why they're not able to get apexes too easily.
Yeah.
That's enough of that. Jared Eccleston in the pits. He's just gone through and done a 22.50. Oh, Bill Kilger. Oh. So let's have a look. Craig Mason pushing on through. And no, that's not Dion behind him. That's Kevin West. Similar car.
Yes, same colour car. Yes.
Currently sitting in third spot, Jonathan Turner.
So that snuck up on us. Well done, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Where did he start? In sixth. So
in sixth. So yeah, definitely on the mark, and obviously just ticking it on by. You would have a better look at seeing what people's incident points are currently, because I know you can see that.
I'm looking at it right now. Brendan Bowney, 20.
So that's a drive. Oh no, yeah, that's a drive-through.
Thomas McCool, 28.
Well, that's still a drive-through. 20 is a
Scott
drive-through.
McKenzie, 3, 18. He's on the cusp.
Oh, who'd you say? Scott McKenzie?
Yeah.
On 18. There he is.
Yeah.
He's desperately trying to keep that on the track. Yeah.
Safety car, which is Nick, is on 15. Which is unlike him. He's normally very... let's talk to the front. Dion's on 12. Blake's on 3. Well done, Blake. Craig Mason, 0.
Well, when you're that far up the front and with no one pressuring you, that's the kind of thing that you'd hope to expect to see. And for Craig, if he can continue that low streak, which he should be able to do, he's certainly not under any pressure whatsoever, he'll walk away with an additional 5 bonus points in his name, which Blake will be the next one, and he'll be hoping that Craig has a couple of offs towards the end of the race. This battle is still chipping away.
He must be his tyres, and the engine must be heating up, sitting in behind him like that. So.
And it does, and I know we've touched on that before in the past, and it is just exactly like that. And
why's he coming into pits?
Maybe he needs a splash to get through to the end, or
he had the longest pit stop. Very unusual.
Let's see how long he sits there for. Six seconds. So I reckon he's worked out at the 32-minute mark that he wasn't going to have enough to get through to the end, and rather than sitting behind Dion and battling him at the moment, he has gone and opted for getting into some clear air.
You have to understand, for having the longest stop, it's tyres, eh? But if you're doing tyres, what do you put fuel in? Because you can now do them at the same time in the GT3s. Am I correct?
Yes, but only to the maximum of what the fuel you can take in the car. So there was a total of the 35% on board. So out of the 110 litres, 35. So probably somewhere in the vicinity of about 38, 39 litres.
So what are you expecting Craig Mason, the race leader, to come into the pits? Again. 6
seconds worth of fuel. That's probably around 12 12 litres, so there's a very high likelihood, because I know the fuel burn between the Mercedes and the BMW is pretty similar.
Yes.
So yeah, and
I'll wait and see. Watch this space, people.
yeah, and Xavier doing Xavier things is I'll bring this up so the folks at home can see. Up 23 spots currently into 5th.
Well, that Allports Ferrari just kicking ass.
That's just Xavier doing Xavier things. There's a nice little battle pack popped up here. Mark Price.
Is that Craig in the back of that too?
Yep, and that's yep, just going by Peter Vanderberg. There is Craig Mason, and then next target is right off Jenkins in the Flora coloured Audi there.
I mean, one with marijuana leaves on. I couldn't figure out what you were saying earlier. The dope leaf.
Now you've got it. And yeah, so Craig being a whopping nearly 17 seconds clear of, 18 seconds clear of second place, and on 0 incident points, while these guys are still battling for position themselves. He'd be wanting to be careful how he goes about getting by everyone. I didn't see him on the flasher. But
no, that's very unlike Craig.
But he's managed to move through everyone. There it is. There's one. There's one.
Oh, sorry. Oh, we're not supposed to get excited about that. Sorry, man.
So, back to Shane quickly, because there's quite a deficit of time between him and the next spot, Nick Mitchell, 7th. So there's a 16-second margin from 7th spot back to Shane in 8th. But like I said, Whitey's pretty good with working out fuel and fuel burn and whether there's a margin for being able to make something work. I'd say he's opted. And
thank you.
His
we've got a car stuck in the middle of the track.
Who's that? Whereabouts?
I'm live too.
Was it Brownie?
Was that Brownie? It was.
I can have a look. Brownie crash. He's out wide. Looped it.
No.
And parked it. Oh, parked it. Oh, Bill. Oh, come on, Brownie. He'll be mashing that button. He'll be mashing the button. Oh.
First of all, Diverse Technologies, people. Diverse Technologies. Look them up. Butter boxes. Brownie's just trying to get some advertising. I'm sure of it.
He knows how to do it. Oh, what's happening here? Come on, cameras.
Anyway, you got some trees.
Shut up.
There's Balaki.
Yep.
Property Edge.
Yeah.
I was going to say Mustang because it just comes to
I know. I got to pull myself up on GT3 night as well. I do the same thing. Here's father and son having a good wee tutu. Are they? No, sorry, that was Taylor Mitchell trying to hunt down DeGraff.
Yeah.
It's Dion. Look at those sparks. God, I love iRacing. Thank you, iRacing. Wouldn't be here without you, iRacing.
Oh yeah, that's right. Thank you for iRacing for giving us this platform. We love you. Doug would have your babies. Sorry.
So Jared Eccleston hunting down Steve Darren, P16-15 there. What have we got? We're at the 37-minute marker, and I would say we must be getting close to seeing a couple of these guys at the front, looking at coming into the pits.
Ooh. Was there another off track I just saw? Let's have a look at him. No, just the one. I'm not really too excited for Craig's downfall, but I do enjoy it. That's how we roll.
So I'm just going to turn up iRacing for a minute while we sit inside this car. I'm going to do it the hard way. As we go for a wee on board with Craig Mason. Still continues his charge. Look at that, people just moving out of his way. Gratefully thanking, or was it Marty that he just went by?
It's just like women in the nightclubs when Craig walks by, they all just part the
They
seas.
part the seas part. Yep.
Yeah, there we go.
That might be why he likes spending so much time over the time. Women don't
I'm
run
not
there.
saying a word. I'm not saying a word.
And, ooh, that must have been close. You can feel that understeer there.
All these GT3s do is understeer.
Certainly, with the big update they did at the start of the season, rebuilding them from the ground up with the professional help of a multitude of professional GT3 drivers. I liked the old one better.
Yeah, I think they definitely have more understeer, but they still have that same. No, it's not a problem. It's the way they drive, is where the rear end seems to come around later on in the sprints.
Very unpredictably as well. I found a lot of the time, you'd have float off understeer. And then next minute, the rear was coming around as well, and you're going, what the shit's just happened there?
Yes. Funny that 7 years ago, I bought the McLaren. It was the first car I ever bought when I got iRacing.
Do you know what? I own that one as well. The only one I don't own is the Ford GT, GT3.
Well, I own it, but it's always in the garage getting fixed because it's a Ford.
You work on Fords nearly on a daily basis, don't you?
Yes.
Nearly.
Yeah, I sure do.
And anyway, just a quick shout out to Blake Dowdall, as he's usually in here causing some torment, but he's got a very early start tomorrow morning, along with young Jack Grunwald heading to Hampton Downs. They've got racing on this weekend there in the Formula Firsts, Formula Fords, and all the other Formula things, NZ, GTR.
There's a lot of classes on there actually. I saw some race cars and sheds. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bit happening. There it is, Craig Mason in the pits.
He did it. So let's see how long he was in the pits for. A couple of seconds.
Yeah,
he's
9 seconds. Yeah, so
Blake just passed him.
Yeah, Blake's gone by. Nick Mitchell.
Oh, what an end to the race! Look, Nick obviously photoshopped that one, but that's all right.
Yeah, sorry, I was just having a quick gander at what that margin is there. There now.
There's Craig.
And
as long as
Xavier.
Craig doesn't push it, I'll tell you he'll get. Xavier. Oh wow, this is.
Xavier,
wow.
I don't think will have enough to get through to the end, but he started off from the back. Pit lap.
Oh, time even would be better, because I work.
Xavier pitted last on lap 15 along with Dion de Graaf, and Blake was on lap 16. So Blake, I'd say, would be very close to coming in. Sorry, because this is a hot battle here.
No, you're right. You're right on it. So Blake's in front. Come on, Blake. Come on, Blake. Don't come in, Blake. Stay out. Please stay out.
I just don't see it.
I don't know. We'll soon know if he's in. Is that him in the pits? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's Xavier gone in.
Oh, where's Blake?
No, Blake's still pushing.
Blake hasn't gone in? Oh, nice. Go, Blake. Come on, 2 in a row, Blake. 2 in a row. You can do it. Seen all the
So
haters out there
pitted
talking about fuel.
on lap 16. Is there any other beamers that haven't done it? So Craig was the only one, and he was in there for 9 seconds. That's a bit of time.
He only needs to last 3 laps, isn't it? It is 3 laps. Because it's the last lap that's killer.
Yeah.
So it's this lap, another lap, and another lap. It's gonna be.
We will see very, very soon. So this is the view back from
What's the time?
from Blake at the moment. Current time
there it
is
is,
43 minutes and 40 seconds.
Oh no, between the two is it like 2 seconds, 3 seconds.
Oh yeah, so we can bring that up.
So
Yeah,
that data is
3.3.
Yeah. Ooh.
So you just
if
see him
you-
there, just sniffing in the background.
If you're new to SuperCars NZ and you're just joining us on these streams, this is pretty exciting.
I reckon we could almost see white flag this time by.
I reckon it won't be called. Let's have. Will it show?
Oh, he's short shifting. Is he shorting it big time?
He's going.
How short is he running?
Pulled over without any gas.
A 23.5. He's not running slow. Dion's in the pits.
Yeah.
So he's coasting. He's coasting. He's
Dion's
coasting.
on the mic. Has Blake got this little talent that he's kept quiet from us? Oh, Balaki is short shifting and clutching. Because I know
Possibly.
that's a
Gizzy move.
Darren Long was doing the 24-hour clutching into the bus stop.
Right.
So, which was very, very, very. Because you can save one whole pit stop. That's and still keep your pace up.
So
I wish we knew if it was a white flag or not. It really annoys me.
We're at 45 minutes.
The time's gone.
And
So you're right.
Parody, Shane.
They're talking parody in the background, which is funny. I love that.
Well, he's the only one
It is!
He's
Can
the
he
only.
make it?
Doesn't work for iRacing, bro.
Oh, he's going to go back to back!
Wow.
Wow,
We have to drag him up.
Oh,
Is he coughing over the line?
oh, that is the best! He's done it!
Alright, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna bring him up.
Bring him up.
2 stops as well, Dion, so...
Yeah.
Just sort out fuel, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, so far,
Parity.
it's not funny.
Parity, Blake. That's all we're hearing.
2 in a row from fuel.
Yeah, boy, I called on
Yeah.
him. He's gone back to back.
Hey,
Well done.
It was tight though, eh? It was bloody tight.
What's your fuel?
Yeah.
I mean, were you saving right from the start? Tell us. How do you do it? How do you do it?
Just literally from the word go. Don't turn the engine on until the pace car's pulling away. Just coasting for the first few laps, sitting in the draft, short shifting, lifting off.
Yeah. You got a clutch?
Every single lap, there was probably only maybe 3 or 4 laps that I did at full tit in that whole race.
Yep. You using the clutch?
I don't have a clutch pedal.
No, so you're just doing everything else.
Yeah, and that's well done. So, like as I said, Darren Lobb uses a clutch, and, quite a few people do. I just mentioned his name because I watched his video, but that's a hat off to you, man, for just sticking to it.
Thank you.
Obviously, Craig's a bit gutted, so you're in a race next weekend with Craig, so you better talk to him. Give him some tips of how to save some gas.
Certainly. I think we all need to have a wee bit of Balaki schooling because, mate, that is a monumental effort and a huge congratulations to you. And look, I know the other guys are banging on it about parity, but this is exactly what Shane and I have done for the series to try and keep it interesting. If there's a way to make it work, or if there's a little bit of a way that you can swing it in your favour to have a positive outcome, you've done it. Well done.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, I think what you guys have done with the setup is is great because it does challenge people, There's a lot of people, there's a lot of chat before the race, are we going to save or will it be a two-stopper? And then obviously you've got, Craig and Dion, who's both of their fuel burn is really, really high. So, and they're fast, that pace comes with that fuel burn. So,
but then I look at it, and so you, Kevin West, the only other, another person running the BMW, were the only people to do it on one stop.
really?
To do it on one stop.
Wow.
So Craig 2, Xavier 2, Shane actually did 3, so I'm not too sure.
Yeah, shout out to Shane because he would have, he probably would have finished in front of me, I think. He was trying to change his tyre settings as he was going around the corner and bumped a button that closed his iRacing down. So,
we saw that on the
So he was
stream.
on the racing line, and we're like, "What are you doing?"
so that was a bit gutting because I think he
But an
certainly
Alt
would have
F4
had
action.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what needed
no.
to happen.
yeah, he certainly would have had the pace to bring it home. So that was gutting for him.
Yeah, so literally yourself and Kevin West, the other Simblacks entry, teammate with Dion DeGraaf, were the only ones to one stopper. And I can see here, pit lap. So you took yours on lap 16, and Kevin West was on lap 15, so a lap before you, and he's been able to bring it home as well.
Oh, nice job. He would have picked up a few spots, saving that second stop for sure.
He'd had a wee bit of run in with some difficulty at the start. Still finished down 7 spots from where he'd started. A wee bit of kerfuffle in the opening bit. But,
yeah, what happened there? I saw he qualified well, but he dropped off after that, those first couple of laps.
Just a little bit of falling off the side of the track and getting in amongst other lap traffic, just getting squirrely in some of those moments. But yeah, well done. I think Craig managed to hold on to the bonus point over you on the lowest incident rating. But
nice job.
So he's kept that margin tight on you on that one, finishing in second place. Xavier was a ripper, Allports backed driver from the rear, finished 25 spots up from where he started and finished third. So
yeah, that was a great drive. He jumped in quite late in the session, so to come through for a podium, that's a great job by Xavier.
That's good. Well, anyway, Blake, we'll love you and leave you as we've been staring at the side of your race car now for a good few minutes. That's probably worth a week's worth of sponsorship at some point. At some point, you might help us out.
Cough up the money. Cough up the money.
Look at him. He's trying to hide it now. He's trying to get the car.
Well done, Blake, and hope you get your flooding all sorted out. I know you've been hit hard, so. On that side of things, mate. Hopefully it all works out for you, and can't wait to see you on track next week.
He's still got fuel to burn. See you, mate. Putting you back there.
See you, boys.
There you go. Well,
there you
that's
go.
it. So
exciting finish to the GT3 race. So can't wait for next week's instalment. I know we missed Blake and battling out together. Yeah, so V8s next week. I'm not too sure where we're at. Well done to the podium.
Well, I've actually got Xavier just down here asking about jumping in the upstairs, so I'll quickly bring him up.
Grab him up. I see him there. Yep.
Okay, Xavier.
Hello.
Well done.
How's that race, mate? Well done, yeah.
Oh, it was a bit of fun, man.
Yeah, welcome back.
Yes, I haven't driven a GT3 car in probably 4 months. When was
I was going to say
it's last year.
Yeah, certainly been a few months. You have been missed. We'd wondered where some of the Allports guys had been. Allport Fastlane guys have been hiding away, but I know you guys have had some dirt series been on the go, and your focus has been in there and carving up. So thank you for coming back and proving to us that from the rear of the field you can still do Mastercraft.
Yeah. I hadn't done any laps. I was a bit scared, to be fair. But
yeah. Hey, it must be Allports Allports gear that you're running, eh?
Yeah, it definitely is, man. Can't beat the best.
I hear he sends you tips. Actually, that's the reason. Each track gives you, little hints of how to actually drive them properly. Is that not true?
Oh, we just do some quick driver changes and we put Richard in the hot seat.
Oh,
Yeah, I've heard it. I've heard that story.
man. And then he just gives you the headset back, does he?
Yeah. So I take all
Awesome.
the glory.
Oh, give Richard the thumbs up from the side. Nah, well done, mate. That was a ripper of a drive.
Yeah, no,
you,
cheers. That was good
Are
fun.
you gonna join us for a few of the other races for the rest of the season, or is this a bit of a one-off just to pop in and say I'm still here and I can still do it?
Oh, I think it might be a little bit of a one-off. I'm back to the South Island again soon with real life
Oh.
racing. So
Yep. No, I saw you guys were down with that a few weeks ago. So yeah.
So be back down there for another week and a half. So I might come back maybe towards the end of the season, do a couple more rounds, and sort of get myself warm for season 2, and probably give that a crack.
Good stuff. Yeah, we're already starting to talk about that now. That's how early we have to think about things and keeping things interesting. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, well, will do, mate. Cheers, guys, for putting the stream on.
Awesome, matey.
No worries, man. Appreciate it. And yeah, good luck with your racing.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
Awesome.
Sweet.
See you, mate.
See ya.
There we go. All right. I think that's probably does it for us. So we'll round that one up. That was round 7 of the Allports Gaming SuperCars NZ GT3 series. This week's sponsor, SDI. Thank you to Steve. Thank you to Sean for not leaving me here to do this by myself. As
Never would, mate. Never
Wayne is sitting back bopping his head along to some Ed Sheeran at the moment. He's a big fan of Ed Sheeran, I've heard.
Yeah, Steve's jealous. He really is. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right.
Awesome.
Thanks, Doug.
Yep.
Appreciate everything you put in, and thank you to SDI and Allports and iRacing.
Yeah. Thanks very much. We'll catch you next week.